Goldberg with my powerful partners, former world champion Chris Algieri, and the Magic Man, the former two-time world champion Paulie Malignaggi. We are set for an 8-round matchup in the cruiserweight division. Robin Safar, born in Sweden, now fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, faces DeShon Webster out of Lenexa, Kansas. This is the second time DeShon Webster fights right here on ProBox TV. Robin Safar, a massive cruiserweight who has shared the ring with a slew of very good fighters, but now it's most notable that Chrissy's a sparring partner for Jake Paul.
I wouldn't say it's most notable, especially from talking to him in the fighter meetings yesterday. He was trying to talk about himself more than just that fact.
Yeah, and I would agree with his assessment there. Keys to victory for the answer.
Careful dipping to the right. Safar, catch opponent when he gets tall. You don't want to have when a guy gets up too high, you can always catch him. Guys got to stay low on the inside and attack the body. Safar's got to get to the body tonight.
DeShon Webster fought last July against Bulletproof Brandon Glatton. He was finished in the 5th round by Brandon Glatton. He has 12 wins in his career, 6 by knockout. His keys to victory.
Yeah, for DeShon Webster, as you said, we've seen him at ProBox here before, is land that overhand right. He's got a good overhand shot, and Safar has a tendency to lean towards that side. Also, he's got a very nice counter left hook when he's in exchanges. That could be a good weapon for him. And then lastly, just stay up the ropes, which he's actually doing right now on camera, but he needs to stay up the ropes and not let the power punching Safar get his hands off.
So we are set for this cruiserweight matchup. Our tail of the tape for this 8-round fight. 30-year-old Safar against 32-year-old Webster. Safar is 3 inches taller, but the reach advantage will go to all bark, no bite, DeShon Webster. With the official introductions, we get it up to Mark Lichtenfeld.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 8 rounds in the cruiserweight division. Esta pelea está pautada a 8 asaltos en el peso cruiser. Los jueces, your judges, Rodolfo Aguilar, Shami Shipman, and Brian Gary. Your referee in charge, El Arbitro, Emil Lombardi. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black with gold, en la esquina azul con pantalones negro y dorado, pesando 200 libras, weighing in at 200 pounds even, with a record of 12 wins, 6 losses, 3 draws, with 6 wins by knockout, con récord 12 victorias, 6 derrotas y 3 empates, con 6 por la vía del knockout. From Kansas City, Missouri, please welcome DeShon, all bite, no bark, Webster. And fighting out of the red corner, wearing the white with gold, en la esquina rojo con pantalones blanco y dorado. He weighed in at 198¼ pounds, pesando 191 corto libras. With a record of 15 wins, no losses, 11 wins by knockout, él está invicto con récord 15 victorias, 0 derrotas, con 11 por la vía del knockout. From Las Vegas, Nevada, he is Robin, the answer, Safar.
All right, guys, let's go.
15-0, 30-year-old.
Rules in the locker room, guys. I expect a good, clean fight out of both of you, all right? Pay close attention to my commands. Protect yourself at all times. Touch them up and wait for the bell.
Robin Safar taking on a very tough opponent.
You're good?
In DeShon Webster.
Show me your mouthpiece. Show me your mouthpiece. Wait. Wait for the bell.
Here we go. It's time to fight. Robin Safar, white and gold trunks. DeShon Webster in the black and gold trunks.
See, right off the jump, you can kind of see the mentality. Webster staying real enclosed on a tight guard, while Safar trying to establish that middle range distance with those touch left hands and looking to turn it into something bigger, but looking to establish that distance now with the sharp jabs.
I think that's a smart tactic from Safar, because Webster, he likes to stand in front and bang. He'll stand in front of you and exchange, and he's got big shots with the right hand and the left hook.
That's the thing. I mean, when guys are like this, like Webster, and when there's no use of their own jab, you make them pay a price. Make them earn their way in by putting punches in front of them. But it's a lot harder to walk in that front door when there's a lead jab and an educated lead hand like Safar is using right now.
And Safar, guys, coming off the best win of his professional career. In August of last year, he finished 8-1 Antonio Brown in the very first round. He would love to get another quick finish, and there's that jab you both talked about. Paulie, we saw when DeShon Webster fought bulletproof Brandon Glanton that he was happy to get in close and exchange. I don't know if Safar's going to go with that same game plan as we saw Glanton utilize.
Yeah, Glanton likes to be inside. Glanton's a banger. He's a big puncher, and being on the inside is his wheelhouse. Safar sort of likes that middle range. He's inside now, but he likes that middle range. I'm not going to say he doesn't want to be too far outside, but doesn't want to be too far inside either. He likes to have that middle range so he can get leverage on that right hand like he threw right there. I'm trying to get around the guard there.
Yeah, Safar does a nice job mixing up his punches. I've watched a lot of his tapes, seen him fight live a few times as well. There you see variations of the right hand, sometimes straight, sometimes at the middle, sometimes around the glove.
And a good one to the body, and another good one to the body.
Webster trying to present himself as physically in front of Safar. He's trying to mentally break him. Sometimes when you position yourself in front of a guy like that, you can kind of stress him. But you gotta work a little bit. A guy like Safar has an undefeated record. He's gonna have a little bit more confidence than. So you're gonna need to do more than just be in front of him in order to break his confidence. You're gonna have to be in front of him and at times work him. Even use that catch and shoot. There's opportunities for Webster to use that catch and shoot on the inside when Safar gets off.
Safar is 15-0. Brandon Glanton was 15-0 when Webster fought him right here at our ProBox TV World Headquarters. Double jab and another right hand.
That was a nice right hand by Safar. He blinded Webster with his jab. He's had that jab at his face all night so far. And then he dropped that hard right hand like that. Just again, it's the shot you don't see that hurts you the most.
Good start for Robin Safar.
He's in the defensive mode right now, so it's going to be hard to find an opening for a minute. But after you go into that jab, I want you to come to these hooks in his body because he's giving it to you. You know what I mean? So jab, jab, take your time. Don't put too much effort into it. Some hard, some easy, right? But then go to that body. All right, I'm going to break him down. All right. Educate him with that jab. Rip to the body. Want some on your head? You felt his power now. Let it go. It ain't shit. Deep breath. Deep breath. The two jabs, hook right hand, back down to the body. Let's work that.
Let's go. Fight scheduled for 8 rounds. DeShon Webster and Robin Safar. Round 2. Robin Safar, 30 years old, 15-0, 11 of those wins by knockout. In the white and gold trunks, DeShon Webster, right back here on ProBox TV, black and gold trunks, Mike Goldberg. My powerful partners, the 2-time world champion, the Magic Man, Paulie Malignaggi, former world champion, Chris Algieri. It's Wednesday night, and that means it is time to watch some great fights. Oh, nice right hand. And Chrissy keeps pawing with that jab and then delivering the right.
Yeah, it's the old 1-2. He's using that jab to mask his movement so Webster can't see that right hand coming, and it's landing hard.
I think you can use it to be a bit more deceptive because right now Webster has that close-up guard. Some of those right hands are getting through, but if you want to get them through a little bit more, you can turn that jab into maybe a touch hook, and you get Webster's gloves to go around to the side, so that way you open up the middle a little bit more for that right hand. I want to see if he starts using that. A nice body shot there, and good return body shot by Webster.
Yeah, Webster's being a little busier this round. You can see he's an explosive guy. He's got some power, heavy hands.
Went into the 5th round against bulletproof Brandon Glanton right here on ProBox TV. This is where Webster would prefer the fight to take place as we talked about earlier, Paulie.
Yeah. And this is where he can sort of be a little bit in a wheelhouse. But again, I think if he's going to be that close, he's got to use that catch and shoot, which Safar kind of gives him opportunities to do. Is just he's got to fire back. So you can't do your turn. I call it your turn, my turn. When you each take turns going, and then the winner ends up being the guy who gets off more. When you can translate your defense, flow it into offense, you end up becoming more rhythmic in that way, and you less timeable.
Uppercut lands for Robin Safar, and another.
I like the changeup and speed that Safar is using here, mixing up the little touches and then ripping that right uppercut. Oh, the body shot.
That was not a nice setup. It was a body shot. Raised the gloves up of Webster and then opened up the side of the body for a good left hook to the body by Safar.
Safar, good economy of motion, too, guys.
Yeah, he's not wasting too much energy. Got hit with a big left hook there, though. That's that counter hook I was talking about from the open from Webster. He does put that in there at the right time.
And Safar sort of enjoying being in the wheelhouse this time. He's working his way in behind no jabs himself now. These two both kind of agreed to fight in this phone booth right now. Let's see if Safar using that jab, working his way in there. For the most part, he wants to walk in as well. He feels like he can start breaking Webster down, walking him down a little bit more.
20 seconds on the clock. Round 2. Uppercut lands for Robin Safar. Fight scheduled for 8 here in the cruiserweight division. Another 1-2, and another shot to the body.
It just looks like Safar understands that he's the stronger, fresher man, and is really starting to bully Webster in there.
Yeah, he's going more for the victory. He's trying to take command of the fight. Webster's still trying to just hang around there.
You understand? Nice and calm, and take what's there. You're on your rhythm. He's too slow, he can't hit you with nothing. Start shooting that, shoot the body shots. So he's feeling that. So start shooting it uppercut. I'm shooting uppercuts too. All right? But everything first with the jab, all right? Stay relaxed. Deep breath, stay relaxed. Don't let him hold you. He got about stop that. You got about 2 more rounds, baby. You got 2 more rounds before you can go and start really letting loose.
Here we see some work while Webster is breaking the rule number 1, which I said was to stay off the ropes. And
Seconds out, let's go.
Safar taking advantage and really digging to the body the last 2 rounds. I think it's very smart because Webster is a durable guy.
And at 15-0, and you talked about it in the fighter meetings, it was discussed that Robin Safar is a sparring partner for Jake Paul. That was more about Jake Paul's really popular in this world right now. Not that was Robin's first job, Kurt.
No, of course. It's kind of funny because a little bit of a dig yesterday on him.
Yeah.
That's how he took it in the fighter meeting.
And he has a very vibrant personality and can throw out the trash talk as well as the combinations.
It's a second ago, nice shot, nice hook to the body from Webster. A little bit more of that. You see, he's got good punches when he throws them. It's just Safar just looks like the prospect. He gets off more. He's trying to create more. Webster's just kind of taking it as it comes. But Webster's capable when it's there. He just doesn't choose to look for it as often as does Safar.
Yeah, champ, I'd like to see more because he does throw nice punches. He's explosive. He looks like he hits hard. Ooh,
nice body.
If she heard the air come out of Webster from that left hook to the liver.
And another left hook lands, that time to the chin of DeShon Webster.
Some blood now and then coming out of the nose of Webster.
Yeah, Safar's really having his way. Feeling very confident. You can tell in his body language, his aura.
Yeah, and last round he really started to feel like physically he take control of the fight. You saw in the first round he was a guy who could was jabbing, trying to find his distance. But as of last round, he's jabbing here. But as of last round, you can see he's made a committed effort to try to physically take over the fight.
Landed a big right hand a few moments ago that had Webster stumbling a little bit.
Looking for not only a victory, but an impressive victory. Doubles up, finishes with an uppercut that lands. Past the midway point of round number 3.
And the last I had seen Safar, he was fighting at light heavyweight, and him and I spoke prior to this that was a big mistake for him to cut down. He feels much stronger, much bigger at cruiserweight, and I'm seeing that. This is a different guy than I saw at 175.
Hard to imagine at at 6'3", that he was at light heavyweight for as long as he was, Chris.
Yeah, it's a great point. And I mean, he looks all of 210, 215 in there right now. He was cutting weight to make the 199.
Big shot. We know that DeShon Webster is struggled.
Step back. Keep it clean.
We saw it against Brandon Glenton.
Let's go.
That said, DeShon has been stopped in his last 2 fights.
He keeps getting hit with shots like that along the ropes. He's going to be 3 fights.
Yes.
And again, he's just late to react. He covers up well, but he's late to react. There's opportunities because Safar loads up so much on some of these shots. There's opportunities when he's catching, because he's catching a lot on the gloves. There's opportunities when he's catching to fire right back and catch Safar off. But he doesn't do that. He kind of takes a second before he fires back, if he even fires back.
And especially because Safar is getting more and more confident because there's nothing coming back. So those holes are there.
Yeah.
Deep. Give me more than 2 punches and stay off the ropes. You don't. Every time you hit this man, you hurting. You gotta let your hand go a little bit more. Follow instructions. Stay on the rope.
So that action of straight right hand, right down the pipe from Safar. That was actually one of the better ones that he landed. There's another one there. Finding that hole between the gloves. Gotta get and Webster's gonna need a little bit more head movement here on the inside, because if he keeps getting hit with straight right hands like that, he's not gonna last much longer.
Go, seconds out, let's go.
When Safar throws in that middle range, he actually gets some good leverage on the shot. Just that sometimes he tries to get in close to get to the body. Sometimes he's not able to get the same kind of leverage when Webster smothers him.
Robin Safar with 11 victories by knockout, 8 of his last 10, including the last 2. The one I previously mentioned against Antonio Brown. White and gold trunks for 15-0, Robin Safar. DeShon Webster in the black and gold trunks.
And there was a catch and shoot a second ago from Webster. It was just a jab, but you see he caught the body shot and fired a jab right back, and you know he caught Safar clean. There's opportunities to fire right back when Safar loads up like that, especially if you're catching him on the arm.
Yeah, it's like we said last round, Chad, but he's getting so confident because there's nothing coming back. He's allowing openings that Webster's not really taking advantage of yet.
Yeah, and when you're looking for when you talk about catch and shoot counters, you're just looking for daylight. A good body shot there by Safar. Looking for daylight, and both of these guys do leave some daylight in between their punches. So both of these guys could take advantage of that catch and shoot when they're on the inside, because they're spending a lot of time on the inside.
Safar's
Really
doing a great job
body, Chris.
Yeah, he's doing a great job finding holes now around the gloves and through the middle. He's much more precise than he was in the first round.
Yeah, and you saw the various shot selection. Body shot to the left side, roundhouse right hand to the other side.
Oh. And his transition to a spot in which it seems he's very comfortable with this fight taking place in a phone booth. First round, he was at distance a bit, as Paulie talked about, utilizing the jab more. 1-2, thrown again by Robin Safar.
Yeah, it's getting to the point. It's getting to the point where Webster's is more surviving, you know.
Which is what we saw when he was on ProBox TV, Paulie, back in July of last year.
I think a lot of that's due to that body work from Safar. I think it's really sapping the energy, because like we've mentioned multiple times, Webster, when he punches, you know, he's got nice shots, he's got some heavy hands, but they're getting fewer and far between. Oof, big overhand clubbing shot from Safar.
And Webster's been in tough during his career. 12 victories, 6 of those are opponents that he has finished. 45 seconds here on the clock in round number 4. Safar over the top with the right.
Clash of heads there. Webster's complaining. Webster's done a little bit of complaining to the referee this round, though. Yeah, I think, you know, it's usually a sign that you're almost at a point where you've had enough.
Yeah, they're starting to break down mentally when they start looking for the ref, looking for a way out. And he's punching. This is the least he's punched the whole fight.
Yeah, and a bit arm weary, not as much snap. He wasn't punching as much as Safar all fight, but at least there was snap on his shots when he was. He's looking a little bit arm weary now.
Final seconds of the round. All right, guys, let's go back and revisit the keys to victory. First, we will start with Robin Safar.
So we mentioned being careful, dipping down to the right. He does leave himself open at times. I haven't seen any of that. He's been rolling pretty nice. His defense has been good, but also he's been fighting pretty straight up and walking his man down. Next, catches opponent when he gets tall. There's been a lot of that, especially as the legs of Webster start to get tired, getting a little taller. And then the body attack, which has been very consistent, even from round number 1, really started to pick up in rounds 2 and 3 and 4. Good work so far from Safar.
Yeah, you talk about standing straight up. I don't think Webster's bent down much at all.
Yeah.
He's given the same high target.
And keys to victory, we revisit them for DeShon Webster.
Yeah, use the overhand right. I mean, he doesn't use it a lot. A couple of counter left hooks I have seen, but they're not as sharp as they should be. Also, you'd like to see them on catch and shoots, even when he throws them. Even when he throws them off as Safar punches, he's waiting that extra instant, so he's not getting them off as much as he should. And of course, stay off the ropes. He's absolutely not done that at all. He's been on the ropes for the, a big portion of a lot of these rounds.
Just past the midway point, round number 5 of this fight, scheduled for 8. Chris, your scorecard.
I have it straight away for Rob's Safar. He has won every round, is dominating more and more each and every round. So
Magic Man?
Yeah, I'd say, man, I thought Safar, you could start to see there was a possibility of starting to get a stoppage the way he had Webster's body language looking last round. I think there's an opportunity for Safar, if he really controls this round physically, to start looking for that stoppage, as long as he doesn't take shots like he just did a few seconds ago, where Webster's confidence will grow. If he keeps Webster working and physically on top of him, he may break Webster down.
a stoppage of Webster would be a very good litmus test for how good of a prospect that Safar can be in the cruiserweight division.
Just for the record, Brandon Glanton stopped DeShon Webster in the 5th round when they fought. It is round number 5 here, and let's see if Robin Safar can really put it on DeShon Webster and finish him in the same round that Bulletproof was able to do here on ProBox TV.
But honestly, even if he were to finish him a few rounds later, as long as he finishes him, I think this is a more complete performance. Glanton was getting hit with some shots from Webster that Safar's not really taking.
So, Chris, what you're saying is it does not, in the eyes of those who mostly know and some that think they know, it does not matter as much if you get a knockout or a finish in the later rounds if you were putting it on your opponent up until that point.
Yeah, if you're doing the sweet science and hitting and not being hit, which is what he's doing right now, then yeah, I mean, I take that as a even better performance.
Yeah, sometimes you can get to that knockout, take you a few extra rounds, but you can get to that knockout in more structured ways, more creative ways, and you're actually bettering yourself for it.
And also getting the rounds, which I like when prospects get rounds.
Talk about overhand rights for Webster. He's been some overhand rights on the part of Safar, actually.
Yeah, I'm seeing a vast improved Safar from what I had seen a few years ago.
Don't turn your head. Don't turn your head, man.
Again, he's starting to get weary here with Webster. Again, so see if Safar can turn up the tempo a little bit.
I like that right there. So Webster tried to hold. He tried to grab the gloves of Safar, and Safar wasn't having it. Holding it takes 2 to tango. He has not done that.
Guys, if you saw that, it was quick. But DeShon Webster just shook
the right hand, right?
Shook his right hand.
I saw that getting the round as well.
I think he may have an injury on that right hand. And this could be the last round.
Come on. No.
He's still shaking that right hand.
I wouldn't be surprised if he stayed here on the stool.
Yeah.
Let's get Doctor up here.
That's what we do.
Good stoppage win for Safar.
His hand. Doctor needs to look at that hand down there.
Doctor's going to look at the right hand of DeShon Webster. Nonetheless, very impressive performance by now 16-0. Robin Safar.
His hand there. Yeah, I saw it when he pulled back on that.
Tough night at the office for DeShon Webster.
Yeah, he hung in there, man.
He did. I mean, that's what he's known for. He's one of those guys. He's goes in there, gives a good show of himself, pushes guys
out. He'll make you work for it, but Safar got it at the end, and plus, the injury for Webster doesn't help him out either.
Is the doc coming back to look at this?
He said they're going to look at him in the back.
Okay, you're looking back? Yep. I know you're in pain, man. You gotta get that glove off. Somebody gotta get that glove off you.
I don't know. It feels like it's gonna hurt when you take it off.
Well, it's got to come off. Well, it's up to you.
Don't do it in the back.
Yes, he could continue because of the injury, yeah. Yeah. Oh, I saw it too, yeah. I told him to pull back. Tell me when.
So it was 1:58 into the 5th for Brandon Glatton. It comes the finish at the end of round 5 for Robin Safar against DeShon Webster. Early on, Paulie, as you talked about, Robin Safar really utilized some distance in the jab, as well as working inside, and it was more inside as the fight went on.
Yeah, and he got more confident. He got to work his way inside more and more after that first round where he was sort of dictating where he was going to figure out where he was going to fight. He realized he was going to be comfortable on the inside, and he started getting closer and closer, physically dictating the pace. Good shot selection as well on the part of Safar over the course of the fight.
Yeah, going to be a lot of good highlight shots for Safar coming off this fight because he landed some beautiful shots upstairs and downstairs. And honestly, I think it was a great performance from him. He got a lot of work and he got the rounds in. He still got the stoppage, and he was in with a guy who's a veteran. He's a veteran. He fights a lot of tough guys. He's a road warrior, but Safar came through that with flying colors, as far as I'm concerned.
Let's take a look at the replay here. We think this may have been where DeShon Webster hurt his right hand.
It's a little bit of a slapping shot, landed on the fingers of the gloves. A lot of times that can hurt your wrist. There it is. Yeah, overhand shot. Didn't have a good fist either, which is a good way to hurt your hand.
To make this one official, here it's Mark Lichtenfeld.
Ladies and gentlemen, the blue corner is unable to answer the bell for the 6th round due to an injury to his right hand. Your winner by technical knockout, el ganador por knockout técnico, Robin the Answer Safar.
16-0, 12 wins by knockout for 30-year-old Robin Safar, as he is victorious in his debut right here on ProBox TV.